video, I wanted to go ahead and discuss the things that you need to prepare for finals. Now, I myself, as a college student, just took finals, so I wanted to talk about a couple things that you might need to prepare for finals. So let's jump right into it. The first necessity that I feel like you really need when preparing for finals, at least as a college student, I'm not quite positive if I used Scantrons in high school. I think I did. But you're going to need a pack of Scantrons. Now, at the college that I go to, a pack of Scantrons, which I believe comes with 5 inside of it, costs about $1 to maybe $2, so it's not that expensive. I usually stock up at the beginning of the school year when I get my book reserve money, which is the money that goes towards all of my books and everything else that's in the bookstore. So I usually get a 7-pack of these, or not a 7-pack, but a pack. I usually get 7 packs of these, just so that in any time during the school year, if I need a Scantron, I don't have to run to the bookstore, I don't have to come out of pocket for the Scantrons. And also at my school during finals, which probably at every college, during finals when you don't have a Scantron, it's probably the worst time ever to go look for a Scantron and to get one from the bookstore, because everybody is looking at the bookstore to get a Scantron. So you don't want to stand in line when you have finals for an hour, for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, when I can just easily wake up in the morning, open these, pull them out of my drawer. So I think Scantrons are the #1 thing that you want to make sure that you have. Next item that I think that is very essential to preparing for finals is the blue book. Although I don't have a blue book with me, it's one of the big necessities along with the Scantron that is usually needed. I haven't taken an English course in a couple of years, so I haven't had the purpose of using a blue book, but they're obviously blue, and sometimes they come in different sizes and all of that. So okay, so anyways, the blue books usually come in different sizes, or at least they do at my school, and they don't cost that much. It's usually used for writing so that they can collect your writing in a book instead of a loose lined piece of paper. So another thing to prepare for finals are to study. I cannot stress how much importance it is to study. When you study, you go into the test with a completely different mindset. You feel more prepared for any question that you're asked. You can get your final done just like that when you know exactly what you're talking about, when you're confident in what you're saying, what you're doing, and the subject that you're testing on. I cannot tell you how many times that I have gone into a final without studying and looked at the stuff and was just like, just shoot me now, just shoot me. There's nothing else for me to do, like, just shoot me. Because I did not study. I did not take it seriously, and so because I didn't take my finals seriously at that moment in my life, I was sitting there with a blank face, confused, and I didn't really care about the test at that point. There was nothing I could do because I didn't study in that moment that was going to change my grade or my knowledge about the test. So you win some and you lose some, but I've learned my lesson not to do that. That's not the way that you need to handle tests in college or tests anywhere, finals, midterms, anything. So I would highly advise people to study. Sometimes you just have to say no to people and just focus on going and doing your work. Sometimes you need those extra hours that you may not think you need to study. And studying makes everything that much easier. I promise you, I studied for one of my finals this week, and I actually took it seriously, and I was finished with the final. Although it was hands-on, I was finished with the final in under 5 minutes. So I was pretty proud of myself because I actually studied, and the studying paid off because I knew all of my subject. I knew every little thing that I could possibly know about the subject that I was doing. So that did end up paying off for me, and I was actually happy that I did study. So sometimes those extra hours do benefit you in the long run, and you will be thankful that sometimes you missed out on a party, you missed out on hanging out with some people, because your grades are extremely important. So another thing that is helpful that some teachers do to prepare for finals is giving you a study guide. Now, doing the study guide, for the most part, in most cases when I've had a study guide, everything that was given to me on the study guide was taken from that study guide and used on the test. It may not have been every single question, but the majority of the questions that were given to us on that study sheet were on the study sheet were on our final or on a test that we were taking that we were studying for. So I would highly recommend that if you are given a study sheet, which is like a cheat sheet, I promise you. So if you're given a study guide, I would take huge advantage of it, and I would memorize all of those questions from top to bottom, because it's almost like, when you really think about it, a cheat sheet. Your teachers are giving you this study guide for a reason. So I would take the time out to make sure that I know everything on the study guide, because 9 times out of 10, for example, if you get 50 questions on that study guide, you might actually get maybe 30 questions out of that. But at least you'll know all 30 because you studied all of the 50 as a whole that you got in the beginning. So that's another thing. When you're given tools to succeed, take every single tool possible. So I would study the study guide, and that's like a tongue twister, a study guide. I would study the study guide and pay attention and make sure that I know everything on the study guide. Another thing that doesn't seem like a big deal is a pencil. There are so many people that I have come in contact with that will come into a final and not have a pencil. If that's not the most unprepared thing, I don't know what is. How do you come into a final without a pencil? How do you even go to school without a pencil? I feel like you need a pencil. I don't care if you only have one pencil and you use that one pencil for the whole school year, you need a pencil. You cannot take a class and not have a pencil. There is times where you will get a pop quiz and you will need a pencil. There is times where you might need something and it requires you to write in pencil over pen. I would highly recommend you buying a pack of pencils at the beginning of the school year and trying to keep up with them as good as possible. Because there's nothing more unprepared than coming up to a final or a test in general and tapping the person next to you and asking them if they have a pencil. Because one, you're irritating the person next to you that's trying to take their test, and now they have to shuffle through their bag, which is making noise for everybody in the class, to find you a pencil. And if they don't have a pencil, you try to go to the next person that's closest to you. So now you're interrupting multiple people to find you a pencil when you most likely should have had that pencil to begin with. So I feel like getting a pencil is a big deal. It's really a big deal. You don't understand the impact that you have on everybody when you don't have a pencil. I can't emphasize how many times somebody in class has tapped me and asked me for a pen or a pencil to sign the roll, to fill in the homework, to do a class assignment. And I kind of just feel like, how do you come to school without a pen or a pencil, a piece of paper, anything? Well, actually now I feel like a lot of people are using laptops and iPads, so I can understand not having paper, but a pencil is just ridiculous. So I feel like everybody needs a pencil. That's a big deal in college. You're going to need a pencil, and especially for a final. If you're using a Scantron or a blue book, 9 times out of 10 you want to use a pencil. Well, in the Scantron, you're going to want to use a pencil no matter what. A blue book, some teachers might prefer that you write in pen based upon the teacher. So a pencil is a very big issue, and it's a must. You just really need a pencil, and pencils aren't that expensive. You can buy a number 2 pencil, a mechanical pencil if you're on the more pricey side, and if you want to stay on a budget, you can even buy a number 2 pencil that comes in a pack of 5, I believe. Bye guys, that concludes my preparation for finals video, and I hope to see you guys soon. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the video, and let me know what else you guys like to see. And until next time, I'll see you guys.